So, the best box of 2020? Let's find out what it was. I ranked the top ones for this year. Coming up next. Hey guys, welcome back. MTG Moxman here. So tonight we're going to take a look, as I explained earlier, about the top draft boxes we had for this year tonight. Now, these draft boxes are pretty amazing. Wizards really didn't have a bad year in terms of the products they put out. But as usual, certain boxes will rise to the top over others and do a better job of appreciating in value when you keep them sealed and collected. A lot of things go into choosing which boxes I think go best, but I usually go with cards that have good content, followed by a nice nostalgic feel for myself or people around me, so I know that's the kind of thing we're going to look forward to. So these top 5 are not just based on the cards, okay? They're also based on the feeling, the story, what we thought about the set as a whole, the ban list versus the non-ban list. Do we remember cards in the set over time? It's kind of how we look at it, okay? So that's how I decide to break it down and say for you that I think these are the best ones. Plus, I can tell you, as I go through, I did purchase boxes of all of these, okay? It really was a pretty good year, and I do believe a lot of these will be short-run in the long term, so none of them are really bad buys, but there are ones that are better than others in my view. Okay? Again, this is just my view of take on it. Feel free to argue with me in the content section, okay? So let's start off tonight with number 5, okay? This is the worst one, but it's still good. They're all still good. But here we go. And that would be Pharaohs Beyond Death. Now, Pharaohs itself has quite a nostalgic feel. It does not have a good vibe for many players, but nobody can quite put their finger on it. It had good artifacts, good creatures, good gods. Like, come on. The Spear, the alternate art cards of Elspeth. We had Uro, we had Kroxa. We had beautiful full art foil lands in this set that just looked beautiful, okay, in the collector boxes. But the set as a whole, it was lackluster in the terms of what people thought of it as soon as the next set came out. They didn't go back and say, no man, look at the cards in Pharaohs, they're amazing, I want to hold on to them. That's not how people looked at it. They kind of said, wow, Pharaohs, okay, yeah, there's some good cards here. We had Thassa, which was great. We had a pretty good story. Elspeth coming back from the dead is kind of awesome. And then it kind of fell to the wayside. Uro getting banned didn't help. Kroxa and Uro were kind of harder to find in the boxes. The land cycle being the temples of enlightenment stuff, the scry lands, not a big hit with most players. So for that reason, it is number 5. It doesn't mean I didn't buy any of it. It just means it isn't going to be the biggest hit in the long term. Just like Pharaohs itself now, 7 years later, is just barely finally to get extra money out of it as an asset. Okay, so that's number 5. Number 4. Number 4 is Zykoria. Now, Zykoria has big beasties. It's man versus monster. It had a cool kind of mini storyline with the whole Godzilla, Corona art thing going with it, which is kind of a story people will remember over time and way overpaid for cards. But it does have the Triomes. And the Triomes are an amazing land cycle for people in Modern, for people right now in Standard. It has cycling with it. It is a good card. It's decent, okay? And people are going to like that land going forward. And if Wizards doesn't print it soon in the next 24 months or 48 months, these cards will get eaten up and they'll hold their value quite nicely. Now, it does have a box topper card. Nothing amazing, but it could be a random card, so you never know. So it was a good set, but not an amazing set. Of course, I did buy some of this set, but this is not a set I'm going, wow, it's going to be an amazing set 5 years from now. I don't call that on this particular set. Narset and stuff was great in it. Luca's very single line for a Planeswalker. Vivian, So it didn't grab me enough to say this is going to be the set. Luris and some of the other creatures were unique. The mutation thing was great, except for people just wipe out the creature. Like, you put 4 or 5 mutations on it, then somebody wipes it out before it can hit them. That hurts hard. So that as a set isn't going to leave that fond taste in your mouth when you want to go out and play it again. So for that reason, it is number 4 tonight. Coming up next, number 3. So number 3 is Core 2021. I know, right? You're like, there was a Core set? There is a Core set. Now, this Core set is pretty decent. They put Ugin back into the standard rotation. They went ahead and put Grim Tudor finally reprinting it. Then they also gave us the whole linear thing of like a Teferi, just like the Chandra thing last time. You have a Teferi, Master of Time, who, if you can keep him alive, is a brutally efficient turn-taking machine that just wipes players off the map. Okay, you put in the Orrery in there for some pumping out, and you got Bass in there, and you got some good, decent Planeswalkers, which is what the set does. You got a good Liliana, not an amazing one, but a good one. This is a really strong set, okay? It's not in most people's minds right now, which is funny, because it just didn't hit everyone up that way, but it was a very strong card, very strong set. It had decent stuff going on in it. Lots of utility cards like Cultivate and stuff in there as well that people are using. It was really good, guys, and people just, they don't see it that way, and that's kind of brutal right now. So I think it's going to be a strong set later. I got hammered when I opened my one box, but it is a set to open later, is going to go over well with people. So for that reason, it is number 3. Also, they're going to short run print this. It's not going to go to a third and fourth printing. First and second printing over, ditch it out. So it's going to be short run. Remember that, okay? It is a pickup. All right, now we're down to our next, the top 2. So you're kind of wondering which of these 2 ones came in. Here it is right now. Number 2, Throne of Eldraine. Decent land cycle with the castles. Some very cool storyboard art book cards, right? The alternate art, the first collector box, which, by the way, I will be doing collector boxes tomorrow of the top collector boxes for the year. You brought Garrick back. You have a new card, Oko, who got banned right away, along with Once Upon a Time, the Cauldron Cat. You can see how this thing all kind of petered out. We had some Emery the Lock Lurker, Brazen Borrower. They finally put a decent dwarf in with Torbrand, which is great to see because dwarves were underrepresented. So that with the video they put out, this is going to be a very nostalgic set for people going forward. Not 2-3 years from now, but 5, 6, 7, 8 years. This set will stand out to people. It will double in value. It's going to be a very good buy. I did buy extra of this one because I really believe it's going to go somewhere later. For that reason, Throne of Eldraine, you rock, man. And that is number 2, which of course leaves us with number 1. Number 1 tonight, of course, is Battle for Zendikar. No! It's Zendikar Rising, just like Battle for Zendikar was 5 years ago. Zendikar Rising kind of wins right away when they put the box topper in there, which is going to be some form of expedition. They made sure it's a hit. And then, to be even better with that, they put the modal flip lands in. The first, 6 of them or whatever? Guys, amazing. You put the Lithoform engine, you put Omnath in there, Stormcaller, the variety of lands, the flip lands. It could be creatures or lands. That is amazing to see. This set is a brilliantly put together set that is underappreciated right now because of sets like Commander Legends coming out there, drawing some of that attention away. But Zendikar Rising is something to watch. If you find it cheap and find it on sale, pick some up, hold on to it. It is a keeper set. It's also the first set that had a box set, right? The box, not the box top, what do you call it? The set series with the list inside. So that's another reason that people are going to remember this set. Each Zendikar set has had something special in it. Not as good as the original with the Lost Treasures, but still an excellent set. So for that reason, it is a must-have. It is a 10 out of 10, okay? I can understand why people might not call it that for some of the game mechanics that went on, but it is definitely a set that I am keeping my eye on. I have purchased extra of it. I will purchase extra of it if it goes on sale next year. Remember, it's going to be in print for a while, but it will slow down as soon as the next sets come out. Kaldheim will come out, and that will draw some of the value down, and these things could go on sale in your stores, right, if they over-purchased it, especially the collector boxes. But again, I'll cover collector boxes tomorrow. I don't want to go too far into it, but it's pretty amazing to see that this, even as a basic draft box, you get the nice box topper inside, which could have something amazing, which really helps draw up the value, and will draw people in later on when they go to draft it years from now. Omnath being banned kind of hurts right away, but it's still going to be a card you can play with when you draft, so it's going to be fun to do. And of course, the variety of the flip lands for each color, from Emera's Call, Ondu's Inversion, all those cards are amazing, and they really draw players in. So please keep that in mind. This is a must-have, okay? So thanks a lot for tuning in tonight. This is MTG Moxman. Remember to hit and smash that subscribe button and join us on our next adventure, because tomorrow it's collector boxes. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I'll see you all tomorrow. I'm going to click the stop button now, because that's what I do at the end. Shop smart, shop S-smart. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Big shout out to all my patrons. Yes, the board will change soon. New patrons will rise. Some will fall. Thanks a lot for tuning in. You can find me on Patreon at MTG Moxman. Have a great one, guys.